Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here for the first time. So today's video is not a video that's going to teach you how to find your very best morning routine or to help you transform your self-image or rebrand yourself. Today's video is to teach you something very important for all women, and it is how to rebuild and save your life when you have lost everything. Because believe it or not, 90% of women have come to a point in their life where they either have or they feel like they have lost everything all at once and they have no way to move forward. And I'm going to teach you the secret to the resilience that you need to be able to move forward with a 5-day plan. And it is all packed into this quick little video. So quickly, hopefully quick, but it's thorough. So let's get into it. So I am absolutely qualified to discuss this and teach you about this. Despite all of my education, I'm a registered nurse, I'm a paralegal, I have a master's degree in forensic psychology. To be able to teach somebody how to do this is not something that someone with the right education can do. It can only be done by somebody who has lived through losing everything. And I myself have lost everything, like everything, multiple times. And a little later in the video, I'll give you a few examples of that. But I really want to get into how we can help you and the steps you need to take right away to take control of this and make this a pivotal moment in your life and not the moment that takes you down. Okay? So first of all is the entire secret to finding and embodying resilience and becoming completely resilient in these circumstances when you have lost everything and you feel like you are stuck and you have nothing left is to find your momentum. That's it. That's the whole big secret. And I'm going to explain how to do that and why that's so important. So, day one, you're going to just cry in your bed. That's what we do, girls. We bed rot. We cry in our bed. And that is okay for day one. So if you want to cry in your bed, that's okay. You're going to give yourself grace on day one. You need it. You need that time to acknowledge your emotions, to feel your emotions, to accept them, and know that you have a right to feel so bad and to feel terrible about the circumstances you're in, whatever has happened to you. Whatever has brought you to this place of losing everything is unique to everyone. Sometimes it's a relationship breakdown, a loss of a job, for unfair reasons or fair reasons or whatever the cause. Sometimes it is losing your home. Sometimes it's related to your children and sometimes custody or financial issues. It can be absolutely anything at all. And how dare I not introduce in the background, we also have Chicken. He's in the chair. If you can't see him, he looks like a squirrel. He's my baby. So I actually have adult babies as well, 2 of them, but that's my little one. So back to the video. You need to cry in your bed. You need to give yourself grace. Day one is all about self-care, giving yourself grace. But quickly, we're going to move to day 2. And day 2 is where it gets a little interesting. And you might not believe me, but this is going to make the biggest difference and give you the biggest kickstart in getting back on track and feeling like you again and embodying yourself again and feeling your strength. And that is an emotional reset. And the very best way psychologically to do an emotional reset is to change your environment. So the most important environment is where you go to sleep and where you wake up, because that's where you have the knots in your stomach start for the day or take over your night. Okay. When you've lost everything, you feel sick. You can't think of anything else. Everything seems devastating. It's like doom. Everything seems like doom. And your stomach is in knots. It's hard to take a breath and your whole body feels tight. And your environment, changing your environment is going to help relieve that and help rewire your brain through neuroplasticity to feel like you're in a different situation, even though you're not. And last thing at night and first thing in the morning are the most important times to do that. And at some point, you can move around the rest of your house too and move some stuff around and change your environment, but your bedroom is number one. So, what you want to do is move it around so when you go to sleep and you wake up in the same room, you don't feel like you're in the same experience that you were having when you lost everything. You want your environment to be fresh, not a place where you remember feeling broken. And you were broken on day one. The day before, you gave yourself grace and you allowed yourself to be broken. This is day two. We are switching things up and we're trying to move out of the broken phase. And you can take months to do this, or you can do this in a week. And I'm giving you the quick timeline if you want to do this quickly and get back on your path and get back on your feet. So you're going to move stuff around. If you need help with that, take a picture of your room, drop it into ChatGPT, ask ChatGPT, how can I move my room around to give myself some more space or to refresh my look or, make sure I wake up with the sun shining on my face. Things like this are important. And light is important. Make sure nothing's blocking your windows. No tall dressers with TVs on top of them blocking your windows. Move stuff around so the sunlight's coming in, the environment feels different, and your room is comfortable. So that's what you need to do. Your bedroom is a new space for you. And now, after day two, if you need to do a little bed rotting and have moments of relapse where you're going to give yourself some grace and cry in bed rot, that's okay, but you're going to do it on the couch, not in your bed. Your bedroom is a fresh environment where you want to start rewiring those pathways to allow yourself to associate it with peace and calm. And you will start to notice that when you go to sleep and you wake up, you won't have the knots and the disgusting, awful feeling in your body that takes over, that makes you feel sick, because everything feels like it's a loss and everything you've worked for is gone, okay? That's day two. Day three is action day. This is a day where you're going to make one decision. You're going to choose one thing that will help your situation and that will help move you forward or out of the situation you're in. Whether that's making a phone call, whether that's applying for a job, maybe it's building a resume, maybe it's eating lunch, maybe it's, having a shower. One thing that's going to help you. I suggest it be something like, for instance, if you've lost your job, set up an account on Indeed and upload a resume. Build a resume. If you are having a relationship or marital issue, reach out or look up some resources on the internet for free counseling or counseling services. If you are looking at issues with your children, spend half an hour doing some research on how to manage those specific issues with your children and those behaviors or the crisis or the whatever trauma or challenge that you're facing. Do some research on it. Something like this. One thing that's going to move you forward in a direction that will help you out of the terrible circumstances that you're in right now. If it's financial, if you've lost your job, make one call to one of your what's the word? Oh my goodness. To one call to somewhere where you owe a bill, a car payment or your phone bill, and give them a little synopsis that you've lost your position temporarily and you will find work, but you need an extension on your bill payment, okay? Or a hydro bill or whatever it may be. I suggest making it if you lost your job and you can't afford your Wi-Fi. You need Wi-Fi to apply for positions and jobs. So make that call. So these are what I'm thinking. This is the thought process. One thing that's going to be most important to help you move forward. Just one thing. And that's all you need to do on day 3, okay? That's day 3. We're already at day 3. So you're doing really, really well if you've made it this far. When you've lost everything, it is the worst feeling in your body. It is the worst feeling in your mind. Everything is devastating and feels like there's no way out. And what you need to realize is There's a sweet and a sour spot to this. The sour spot is that nobody is coming to save you. You need to be strong and save yourself. But the sweet part of that means that you are in complete control and you get to guide the process and you get to choose your way forward. Okay? So keep this in mind. No one is coming for you and you feel alone and you feel scared and you feel terrified and feel like the crisis that you have no help. But the power that that also gives you is tremendous, and it means that you have independent decision making and independent control over what direction you take next. And when you get to the other side of this 5 days, you'll appreciate that. So let's get into day 4. Day 4 is rebuilding yourself. You're going to get dressed. You're going to do your morning routine, whatever that is. You are going to do some skincare, put some makeup on, throw your hair in a ponytail, whatever you need to do to make yourself feel like yourself. And then you're going to begin a list of what you haven't lost. So some examples of that can be things that no one can take from you, being your education, your life experiences, the people that you know you can count on. If you have people, some people don't. In some of the situations I was in, I had nobody I could count on. And I was responsible for 2 kids on my own. And it was terrifying. It was a terrifying situation to be in. You are going to write on this list any personal skills you have that are transferable that you can use that'll be a resource to you. If you have a car, write that down. If you have a phone, write that down. If you have Wi-Fi, write that down. These are all things, if you have a computer, write it down. These are all things that you haven't lost that are going to help you rebuild your future and make it to day 5 and beyond. So you need to make that list. Anything that provides you with a head start to rebuild, anything that can be a resource or a skill or benefit you in the future, write it down. Make that list. That list goes where you see it most. If it's your bathroom mirror, that's where it goes. If it's on the fridge, that's where it goes. Kitchen counter, leave it there. And I want you to look at it before bed every night. And when you wake up every morning, you're going to look at that list and remind yourself. And if you need to remind yourself 10 times a day, do that. Because these are the things on that list that are going to get you through to survival and to thriving at the end of this, okay? Because this is a journey. Chicken, stop whining. You're happy. If I took him out of the room, he would cry to get in. If I leave him in, he whines because he's not on my lap. But I just can't have him on my lap and make a video. Anyway. Day 5, here we go. Day 5, you're starting on your new path, and it's any path. Whatever path you decide, and it doesn't even matter as long as you are on a path forward. You're going to think of what you can do in your particular situation that will start you moving on a path. Okay? This can be done without any help from anyone else. That's the key. It has to be something you can do on your own. Now, depending on your situation, you might need somebody else at some point. Depending on what you've lost, you may need outside help from other people. And if you don't have that, going forward is going to be impossible. But that is individual to your circumstances, and I'll discuss that with you in just a moment. We're going to get there. So you need to determine what you can do. So if you don't have a car, that means, and you've lost your job, that means you're going to get your hands on some resumes. And if you don't have a printer or a computer, you are going to call local employers and you are going to sell yourself first. You're going to tell them what a great employee you would be in their business and tell them the skills you have. Hi, my name's Deirdre. I live in the same community. I live just up the street from your business. I'm really good at this and this and this. And I was wondering if you were interested in hiring anybody at this time. Not are you hiring, if you are interested in hiring anybody at this time. And be sure that you highlight what the benefit you bring before you ask if they're interested in hiring anybody. You need to sell yourself before and make yourself a valuable commodity before you ask them if they want you. Because by the time you're done speaking, you already want them thinking This is someone who is really good to speak to on the phone. This is someone who's confident, who knows what their value is, knows what they're doing, knows what they're good at, and they're looking at us. And maybe that's because they can help us. There's a fly in here. I think there's a couple little flies because I had my window open. So that is day 5. Day 5 is like serious action and you're on the path, okay? Now, I have given you 5 days of crisis management. This is crisis management tools, okay? And it is a plan to save yourself, okay? And I'm going to give you a few examples of situations I've been in so you can understand why I understand this so well. But first of all, I want to tell you, if you feel like you are a person who would like to work with me to address and to help guide you through a crisis situation of your own, or multiple challenges you're going through at the time right now currently, or you see yourself going through, like you feel them coming, you know they're coming, challenges, any problems that you need some assistance or guidance through, be it work, be it personal, relationship, professional. I not only have the education to back, but I also have a ton of experience, and I have lost everything in the past, and I can help you get through it, get the resources you need. If you need resources and outside resources, I can help you navigate through that. And all you need to do is reach out to me through findingyoursteps@gmail.com, and I will respond to you, and we can have a conversation, determine what your challenge and what your problems are, where your crisis lies, or if it's not a crisis, where I can help you. And we will begin on the path together, moving forward and taking the steps that are going to get you in the direction you need to be going. So let me tell you a little bit about experiences I've gone through. So let me tell you, I have lost multiple jobs, and multiple jobs, because I had to choose at points in my life between going to work or trying to save a loved one's life because she suffered from severe addiction and would put herself in dangerous situations, like going out in the middle of the night in the winter and in the freezing cold and becoming lost. And police would be searching, everyone would be searching, and I'd be trying to find her. And I would have to make the decision to stay at my night shift as a nurse working in the hospital and emerge, or to leave and go and help find my loved one to try and save her life. And that came up multiple times in my life. And it happened so frequently at some points, I've lost jobs over it because I consistently had to leave work. I had a child that suffered for a period of time with some mental health issues, and that caused me to miss time at work again, to have to be at medical appointments, to be having to advocate for her and be in those places. Lost jobs. Now, I am a woman that had no child support, no second income. I was a single mom, paying rent, paying bills, paying utilities, trying to keep my car on the road, always educating myself. Keep in mind, I'm a registered nurse plus a paralegal, and I pursued a master's degree in forensic psychology. I did all of this, and I was doing it while I'm raising these 2 kids, and I was doing it on my own. So all of these things would come up, okay? I have had situations where I've been bullied at work because I had a boss that felt threatened or just didn't like me, and specifically felt threatened by me, and that was her complaint. And I have been unable to pay my rent and found myself being evicted from my home in the past, from my apartments, with 2 kids on my own, and had to find ways to navigate the system to save myself, secure housing, and secure the safe space for myself and my children, and can help us continue on with our journey and our lives. And I was able to do all that, and I learned to do it one step at a time. And through multiple situations and multiple encounters, I have become an expert in resilience and in learning to rebuild from zero, from the bottom up. So I am absolutely someone that can help guide you through whatever situation you're facing. So if you've stayed to this video through the end, thank you so much. And I really ask you to subscribe to this channel. Share this video if you think it'll be helpful to anyone. I'm telling you, these 5 days, this structure, this framework is what I've used. And I mean, I built a framework because it happened so many times. I looked at what worked and what didn't, and what got me on the road and what just kept me bedrotting. And I built a framework out of it. And yeah, I used my education in forensic psychology and in counseling and in therapy, which I do provide. And I'm able to do that. But I learned more from my personal experience going through it and getting better at it every single time. So I want to help you with that. So share this video with anyone who needs it. And if you need it and you want to work one-on-one with me and you'd like to my help in guiding you through any situation that's troubling you, that you're having trouble navigating or figuring it out because you're in it so deeply and you just can't think your way through it right now, reach out to me. The email is in the description on my YouTube channel, but it's findingyoursteps@gmail.com. And I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to seeing you subscribe to the channel, and leave me any comments if you have any other tips or any ideas for everyone and for any viewers to see and read and benefit from, and have a conversation, because everyone who's been through traumatic loss and horrible experiences can relate to this and will have value to add to this. Will have value and experience and other ideas that can be added or incorporated to this framework to help build on it and make it even bigger than it is. And that comes from all of you. So I hope to see you all soon, and I look forward to the next video. Have a fabulous evening, and I will see you in the next one.